My name is Tom Robinson. I'm the founder and managing director of Adaptavate, and I founded Adaptavate to fundamentally rethink the building materials of tomorrow. So Adaptavate really focused on the internal lining materials of the built environment, so that's plasterboard and plaster. Plasterboard is the third most used building material in the world. And what Adaptavate does is develop drop-in products that are made on carbon-absorbing processes through business models that can be deployed around the world to be able to deploy these solutions to the markets that need them to absorb as much CO2 as possible. My journey started as a builder, really, working on site, doing stonemasonry, lime plastering, that sort of thing. I had seen the plasterboard waste coming off site. I got charged for it, and I thought there's got to be a better way of doing this. I also wanted to have a bit more of an impact, more than just building or renovating one house by another house. And so I signed up to do a master's in sustainable architecture, and through that I developed what is now known as breatherboard. It is a biocomposite alternative to plasterboard. So we can take waste CO2 from emitting companies and we can put that into our production process to be able to give the product a performance benefit, but also reduce the embodied carbon of the product, and of course reducing the cost of carbon for that emitter. It's essential for us to rethink material flows and the carbon flows of the future, that we bring new industrial processes or waste streams together to be able to create value-add products that are alternative to incumbents. And that's really where Adaptavate focuses its R&D of the future, is in that industrial ecosystem of the future. In comparison to plasterboard, we can reduce the embodied carbon by 3 kilograms per square metre. That could be around a tonne CO2 saving per house. And what we're really driven by is getting this to as many territories around the world as possible. So this is a near-term 3 to 5 year method of getting significant carbon capture and utilisation into building products. And the technology that we're working on at the moment, co-funded by Innovate UK, actually means that we could potentially get a carbon negative alternative to the world's third most used building material to market within the next 5 years. So since leaving the accelerator, Adaptavate's raised about £1.5 million, and we are currently building, I am sat in our new pilot facility, which will be able to produce about 5,000 square metres of board to be able to seed into some very high profile pilot projects next year and to scale our carbon capture process up here using our labs and technology here. I don't think it's too cliche to say that actually the Imperial Climate Accelerator was fundamentally transformative. It was the germination of Adaptavate, in the sense that I was a builder, had a good idea on a building site, and some alumni on the program who I knew from where I grew up actually recommended that I apply. Lo and behold, I actually managed to win the competition and get a place on the accelerator. And what that really did is it validated the kind of good idea that I had, but it actually gave me the tools to go from being a builder to building a business of the future. I didn't know what a business plan was, how to communicate it, what a product market fit was, what a business model canvas was. And this accelerator gave me the foundations that I still use to this day, actually. I still encourage our team, if we're thinking about a new product, to use the business model canvas. We're always going to face challenges, and there's challenges that we've had to this date. But I think as climate technology, carbon technology entrepreneurs right now, we have this real challenge of balancing the climate emergency that we're facing and that we just desperately need to solve, and balancing that with the appropriate scale, the engineering scale, the capital requirement, the cycle and development of your business as you scale into typically quite a capital intensive market. I think my main reflection, having done this now for about 9 years, is to try to detach yourself from the emotion of the climate or social emergency that you're trying to solve. Everyone knows that that's a big problem. And that's why you'll be standing up in front of investors or customers or whatever it might be. And if you can try and detach yourself emotionally from that a little bit, without being devoid of passion, you need passion, there's no doubt about that. If you can detach yourself from that, and the main job of an entrepreneur is to cross the river from reality to fantasy, which is, this is what I'm envisioning, this is what I'm imagining, this is a world where we can do these things that I've got the answers to. And your job as an entrepreneur is to make stepping stones across that river from reality to fantasy. And I think my advice would be, think really clearly about what those stepping stones look like, so that you're clear with your team, with yourself, but also with your investors and with your customers. Our intention is to scale this globally using localized production models to be able to scale in the next 10 years to about 10% of some of the world's key markets, and licensing this technology to the world's biggest building product manufacturers. And we believe that's going to build on their strengths, taking locally available resources to be able to put into a low carbon or carbon negative product to be able to get direct into their market, whilst absorbing significant amounts of CO2 from that territory. And we aim for 10% of the market within the next 10 years.